Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. Thank you for joining me. Welcome to Total Football Talk. We're going to look at, as always, the latest news and transfer news coming out of Manchester United. And yes, we have plenty to get our teeth into this morning. And what we're going to start with, we'll look at the stories that are kind of currently surrounding Manchester United. One being Ollie Watkins is the one that we believe that Ruben Amorim is most interested in. Why? Because he's looking for proven players, and I believe that if we can get Ollie Watkins on a deal that's not 60 million, then I think Ruben Amorim could be very, very interested in this particular player. He's 29. He has scored a lot of goals in the Premier League. I did look at his statistics yesterday, and he kind of is, bar one season, he is in around the kind of sort of 15 to 20 mark kind of goal scorer in the Premier League. And I think that for us after last season would be a very decent return. But again, he is 29. He will be turning 30 in December, I believe. So, we've got to really take a careful look at what we pay for him. Other stories that are out there at the minute, we know that Manchester United are keen on a striker. We know there's some information on Jadon Sancho. There's some information on Alejandro Garnacho. And there's a little bit on the goalkeeper and how important the striker is, a little bit about what Jose Mourinho has said about Manchester United, and Marcus Rashford obviously has done his first press conference for Barcelona, so if I have time I'll squeeze that in at the end. But this was the news that was coming out kind of late last night, and this was Ollie Watkins is the number one target for the striker position at Manchester United, and this was coming from the United stand and Mark Goldbridge. Now the United stand have had some very interesting information throughout the season. They reported straight after the Europa League final that Garnacho was going to go, and I think that may even have been before his comments had come out, or in and around the same time. But yeah, they had the lead on that. They also knew that there was Manchester United do want another goalkeeper, even though Ruben Amorim is still happy with the character of Andre Onana, but I don't believe that Ruben Amorim thinks he's the right goalkeeper for Manchester United. So we do know that there is interest in bringing in a new goalkeeper, and now they're breaking that Manchester United and Ollie Watkins are the striker that Ruben Amorim would like moving forward. What do you good people think out there? Do you think there's anything in this story? Do you think Ollie Watkins is a striker that you'd like to see to come to the club? Would you like to have him lead your strike force next season? Could he bring 15 to 20 Premier League goals for us? And how important would that be? Him alongside Cunha and Mbeumo, I think that would give us a very, very a much stronger forward line than we had last season. We've kind of completely rejuvenated it, revamped it, and put us in a position where we can score a lot more goals. And I think that would be key to Manchester United moving forward. As I said, the other option is Benjamin Sesko. We believe his price has come down according to reports coming out of Germany. He has got the opportunity to maybe look at other clubs if the price for him is a little bit lower. We know it's around the £60 million mark, but we believe the deal is still pretty difficult to do. Are Manchester United going to have a striker for the tour? No. Are we going to have a striker even for the start of the season against Arsenal? Probably not at this rate, because we have to sell players. And this is what was being said by Fabrizio Romano. A new striker is almost guaranteed to happen this summer. 2 meetings have already taken place in the last 7 days, and they are pursuing signing one, as in a forward. Or striker, sorry. So we know that Ollie Watkins and Manchester United have strong links. We know that that Fabrizio Romano is reporting that Manchester United, and this is probably coming from the club, are really interested in a striker. So that is the stories that we have on that. Now, there was a little bit of a story, and this is an update on the Jadon Sancho thing. Juventus remain firm interest in Jadon Sancho, but they are thought to be first looking to sell Timothy Weah and potentially Nico Gonzalez before advancing the move for the Manchester United forward. And that's coming from James Ducker. James Ducker's pretty good, pretty reliable, has a lot of kind of inward roads to Manchester United. And if he's saying that Jadon Sancho is a player that Juventus are interested in, they probably are. But obviously all this talk about the deal's nearly done, the deal's so close, it's closer than close, blah, blah, blah. It isn't close at all. Fabrizio Romano did actually come out, or no, David Ornstein, did pour cold water on this a few days ago. And it looks like, from what James Ducker is saying, They are still interested in him, but there's no deal advancing at the minute. Now, I'm sick of talking about this lad. I just wish he, like Marcus Rashford has gone, he has bitten the bullet, he has probably taken a wage drop. Obviously, he has got the move he wants, but he is someone who's prepared to go and play football, and fair play to him, and I hope he does well out there. Hope he does well for himself, hope he rejuvenates himself, hope he does well for Barcelona, hope he does well for Manchester United, and that we get the opportunity to sell him on next summer, and he gets a chance to, kind of have a reset for his life, and get himself back up to speed. And then all parties are winners, because that's ultimately what we want. Unfortunately, Jadon Sancho is not in the same camp. He's obviously got a very different way of thinking. He isn't interested in the World Cup, and well, clearly not if he isn't going to have a club, and he's probably not going to have a pre-season. At least Marcus Rashford now will have some kind of pre-season. Jadon Sancho doesn't look like he's going to have a pre-season. And he's going to be stuck at Carrington's complex, just kicking the ball around, maybe alongside Garnacho, and the two of them can be happy together. But that's where we are with that. Speaking of Garnacho, this is what was being said. Fabrizio Romano and Alejandro Garnacho. More on Chelsea. Don't forget what I keep telling you. Keep an eye still in the situation of Garnacho, depending on what happens with Manchester United and more club interests. But I've got a feeling, even though Chelsea are being linked, and they were linked back in January, I think this is starting to dwindle, because we know that they're really keen to sign Xavi Simons. If they get Xavi Simons, I think Garnacho's gone. He'll not be moving there. There is talk of Spurs being interested in him. I can't see that happening either. Yeah, and so I just think that's where we are with all that. With Garnacho, I just actually don't know where he's going to go. There was talk of Aston Villa. Maybe there's a deal that can be struck between Aston Villa and Ollie Watkins and Emi Martinez. Maybe we can do something there. But otherwise, I have really no idea what's going to happen with Garnacho. I don't know who's really interested in him. In terms of the Premier League clubs, we know that Napoli do have an interest, but they're looking at other players. No one seems to want to buy Manchester United players straight up, and we'll get into another reason for this. Manchester United's search for a striker has now been limited to players within the Premier League, expected sort of, because that's what they're hoping, with experienced Premier League players with experience. And these remain an interest, but there is an interest in Benjamin Sesko among others. So, as I said, Watkins obviously has the Premier League experience. Sesko doesn't. Sesko's the risk. Can Ruben Amorim, in your opinion, afford to take that risk? Can he afford to, apologies, my computer's not working here. Can he afford to not take that risk, or to take the risk of bringing in a younger striker who hasn't got the proven experience? Big gamble if he does. Obviously, he does have Cunha and Mbumo behind him, so he will have the opportunity to get things fed to him, but the balls fed into his feet, etc., and opportunities created. But big gamble. Who would you go for, Sesko or Watkins? I suppose that is the question this morning. And a little bit on Real Betis and Antony. Real Betis are delaying the move for Antony, hoping Manchester United will eventually agree a loan deal. They're counting on Antony rejecting other offers and accepting a pay cut to join them. And that's coming from Manu Kelleher. I don't really know who that is at the minute. We'll need to do some research into that. But it does look like Antony. We do know that he's keen to go back to Betis. We know that Atletico Madrid are interested. We need to get a fee for some of these players. We can't just let them all go on loan. Antony on loan, but Rashford on loan. Because that if that happens, then that just means we're not in a position to buy any players. We have to sell some of these players. Yes, getting rid of Rashford's wages is brilliant, but we've got to be able to sell some of these players. Otherwise, we're really going to struggle going forward. And I think it's an absolute must to bring in cash, so we can reinforce the positions that we need to be reinforced. As in, we need a goalkeeper. Sammy Lamens is still being talked about. The midfield area, there is talk about Kobe and Spurs link. I can't see that. That came out this morning as well. I've not got a caption for that one. Can't really see how that works. I don't see Kobe going to Spurs. It's not that they're not a bad team. I just think Kobe maybe has levels above that, and he should look at that. But can Kobe play in the 6 position, where I think Manchester United are going to want him, because Bruno's probably going to play in the 8? I don't know. I don't know if he's got the legs for it. We'll soon find out. I think there's potential that he has the legs. He's a brilliant player, and I think he would fit into a lot of teams, high-end teams, top 4 teams. If he doesn't fit into United's team, not Spurs. Spurs are a team that are definitely in change, transition. Yes, they have Champions League football, but I think they're going to find it very difficult in the Champions League this year. I could be wrong, but I do. And I just think Kobe could be better somewhere else. Well, I think if he is going to go, but I would prefer him to stay at Manchester United and try and find a way into the squad. Maybe he's going to end up rotational in that number 10 position. I think that is probably his best position for me. But yeah, what are your thoughts? Do you think Kobe will go to Spurs? Do you think he'll stay at United? Do you think he'll play the 6 role? Do you think he'll play the 10 role? Get your thoughts in below. And guys, if you're, or girls, or whoever's watching, if you're enjoying the content, please hit the old subscribe button. Get your comments in below. Please hit the like button. Massively helps me out in the channel. And yeah, thank you for everyone who's been watching so far. I really, really appreciate it. Viewing figures have gone through the roof recently, so really, really appreciate that. Right, last couple of stories, guys. Jose Mourinho. Today, I think that the change of ownership, which doesn't have a lot of football experience, but sports, it brings more sensitivity compared to my own experience when I was at the club. What happened to Ruben Amorim is that there's been a coach at the worst Manchester United league history and still has the confidence of the board to continue, which is already a sign with a lot of things that are changing within the club. We agree that he's a good coach with great potential and strong personality. I think he's incredible potential to do good work for Manchester United. Mourinho obviously knows what had gone on before with Ed Woodward and the people and the board that he had to deal with, complete clowns who knew absolutely nothing about football. Mourinho talked about finishing second being one of his greatest achievements. On reflection, you can kind of see where he's coming from. He had no help. The board hadn't a clue. And he was kind of left out, hung to dry by the board and some of the players. And I think we've kind of moved on from that. We are moving in a different direction. Whether that direction is 100%, I don't know. We've made a couple of good signings this year, but the board have still failed to sell players. And I still think, and for me, that's on them. They have to take responsibility for that. Yes, these players are difficult to move on, but that's their job. Their job is to find a way to get these players out the door. And yeah, I think that is what we are kind of dealing with at the minute. Guys, that's your kind of 10-minute, 12-minute roundup. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm Keith, the host of this little channel. And yeah, if you if you like it, hit the old like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Get your comments in below. That way you can do that. And yeah, if there's any other great news breaking, I'll maybe go live later, or I haven't actually tell lie. I've never gone live. I will have to go live someday. But thank you for all the support so far. And yeah, I will see you tomorrow unless something big breaks today, and then we'll do a video.